Today on the spot, we go hands-on with the latest GTA expansion, The Ballad of Gay Tony. We'll also get some Halloween-style creepy on with Dimension 2 and Bioshock 2. Check out what's friendly for imports and get you up to date with what's new on Xbox Live. We also get a world-exclusive look at Sonic and Sega AllStars Racing. All this and more today on the spot.
Hey folks, welcome. It's Today on the Spot. It's Thursday, October 29th. I'm Chris Waters here with my man Lark Anderson. Lark, tell me about your Halloween costume. You got it together yet?
No, I usually wait to the last possible minute just because I am sort of lazy.
Yep, a man after my own heart. I am totally a costume lazy guy. I went a lot of times when I was a kid as a soccer player.
It's an easy uniform to put together.
I had my thing. Didn't make me feel great about myself, but I got candy.
And that's really all that matters.
Exactly, eyes on the prize.
Yeah.
Speaking of prizes, we're gonna have trivia giveaway today, folks, as usual. But before that, a whole slew of awesome games. We got Bioshock 2, Ballad of Gay Tony, and a preview of Halloween creepiness with Dimension 2. But before we get to all that stuff, we're gonna throw it over to Tor Thorson for today's headlines.
Hey everyone, it's your GameSpot news update for Thursday, October 29th. I'm Tor Thorson. Can you read this? If not, you're probably the target market for the new DSi XL. Now officially confirmed, the handheld will have 4.2-inch diagonal diameter screens, much larger than the DSi's 3.25-inch screens. So now your grandparents won't have to bust out the bifocals to play Brain Age. The new handheld will be released as the DSi LL on November 21st in Japan, where it will cost 20,000 yen, about $220. In Q1 2010, it will be released as the DSi XL in the UK, the rest of Europe, Canada, and the United States. In Japan, it will come in 3 colors: dark brown, natural white, and wine red. No word yet on a cheese yellow or cracker tan. The 4th revision of the DS hardware was also revealed as part of Nintendo's latest earnings report, which revealed that over 113 million DSs and 56 million Wiis have been sold to date. However, slowing sales of both platforms saw Nintendo's 6-month profit fall by 52%, and full-year profit forecast dropped to only $2.5 billion. That's right, only $2.5 billion, with a B, a profit, not earnings. So the Mario factory isn't going broke anytime soon. Well, that's it, your GameSpot news update for Thursday, October 29th. For more headlines like these, head on over to news.gamespot.com.
Now that you're current on the happenings around the games industry, we're going to take you to the Xbox Live Marketplace and see what's new this week.
This week on Xbox Live, Arcade offers up 2 titles this week as Taito releases Rainbow Islands Towering Adventures for 800 Microsoft points or $10. Supporting play for up to 2, Rainbow Islands is a platformer in which gamers attempt to navigate 10 different levels across 4 game modes. Joining Rainbow Islands on XBLA this week is the latest billiard sim Inferno Pool. Also available for 800 Microsoft points, Koch Media and Dark Energy Digital's Inferno Pool features 8-ball and 9-ball gameplay modes. The game's defining mode, however, is Inferno Pool, which lets up to 4 compete in a battle mode of sorts where jumping shots, combos, bank shots, and other tricky maneuvers become an individual player's ordnance. Having laid out its games on demand schedule for October earlier this month, Microsoft said today that Dead Space and Dirt are now available for download. Released to a warm critical reception in 2007, Codemasters Off-Road Racer carries a $29.99 sticker tag. Considered one of the best games of 2008, Dead Space, EA's survival horror shooter, can be purchased for $19.99. In the game demo section, Left 4 Dead fans are in for a real treat. If you pre-ordered the game from someplace like Steam or GameStop, players will get a code that allows you to download the game demo a week earlier than everyone else, available last Tuesday, October 27th. The demo allows you to play 2 chapters of Parish called Waterfront or Park, either with 4-player co-op online or single-player with 3 other AI teammates. The demo features new weapons such as the homemade suppressed MAC-10 machine gun and Boomer Bile. New health items also included are a defibrillator to revive fallen teammates and an adrenaline shot. Another demo available is CSI Deadly Intent. Join the New Vegas CSI team and explore 5 brand new cases. Players get to explore crime scenes, examine bodies, and follow the twists and turns of the story. If dead bodies and zombies aren't your thing and you're more into high-flying fighting with outrageous hairstyles, then Dragon Ball Raging Blast may serve your needs. The game features over 70 playable characters, including transformations, and allows you to relive the epic battles from the series or experience alternate moments not included in the original anime and manga. 3 notable trailers are available for download this week, including a launch trailer for Madden NFL Arcade, the official launch trailer for Forza Motorsport 3, and Grand Theft Auto: The Ballad of Gay Tony, giving you a sneak peek at Princess Robot Bubblegum, the hit anime show taking Liberty City by storm. In the game add-on section, Rock Band fans can look forward to the Rob Zombie Pack, featuring hits like Super Beast, Dragula, and Burn, as well as the Wolf Mother Pack, with songs like Woman, White Unicorn, and Sundial. In the indie game section, a flurry of titles hit this week, including OMG Cats, Pass the Pad, Drinkards, Equitunes, Very Hungry Pumpkin, Amniotic, and Crate Expectations. That's all the time we have for this week. Be sure to check out GameSpot.com or Xbox.com for the latest DLC available this week on Xbox Live.
So there's some of the stuff that's new on Xbox Live Marketplace, but Lark, it is that's not even the biggest thing hidden, is it?
No, we've got Grand Theft Auto 4, The Ballad of Gay Tony, and that's totally out now. You can totally download that, play it now, and there's some crazy multiplayer stuff.
Lots of new multiplayer modes. I'm told that parachutes factor heavily.
Yeah, they're the new hotness.
Yep, Justin and Brian have been playing it, and every sentence I feel like they say, then I parachuted here, then I base jump this.
Right.
I'm looking forward to seeing how this is all worked into the multiplayer modes, which Brian Eckberg's got a preview for us right now.
When you aren't blasting machine guns and popping domes, you're racing sports cars in checkpoint racing. When you aren't battling it out in midair in missile-equipped helicopters, you're base jumping off the roofs of massive skyscrapers. When you're playing the multiplayer aspects of Grand Theft Auto 4's latest DLC episode, The Ballad of Gay Tony, you'll run out of time in your day before you run out of things to do. The fun begins with the deathmatch modes. There's both free-for-all and team deathmatch, where you're trying to earn as much cash for your team before the timer runs out. New for the Gay Tony multiplayer is cash earned for assisted kills and cash bonuses for kill streaks. So find a good hiding place and get your snipe on. And speaking of sniping, the new DLC has lots of new weapons to choose from, including an explosive shotgun, a cool-looking assault SMG, an advanced sniper rifle, and a machine gun that makes up in power what it lacks in accuracy. Racing in the latest GTA DLC episode is pretty much what you've come to expect, tearing around Liberty City in cars that are only vaguely informed by the laws of physics, knowing that at any moment your car might crash and explode in a fiery blast. In other words, they're a lot of fun. The point-to-point races aren't perfect. It's sometimes easy to miss a turn and take yourself completely out of a race, but the crazy physics and loads of options, including time of day, weather effects, and type of cars you race, make for a fun time. So, you fired enough bullets to add another zero to the Pentagon's annual budget, you've crashed more cars than a Swedish gaming executive, and you're still looking for thrills in Liberty City. Well then, The Ballad of Gay Tony has one more feature for you. Base jumping in the game's Anything Goes free mode. Get to your nearest helipad, hop in a copter, and prepare to jump in a parachuting minigame that doesn't make a lot of sense in context, but sure is a lot of fun. Just watch out for helicopter blades and fellow players with guns, and be sure to pull that chute in time, else you'll wind up as one more red blood stain in Liberty City. The Ballad of Gay Tony is available on Xbox Live and PlayStation Network for 1,600 points or $19.99 respectively. If you don't want to download The Ballad of Gay Tony, you can find it on store shelves as part of episodes from Liberty City, a retail set that also includes the previous episode, The Lost and Damned.
All right, there's your look at some of the multiplayer goodness in Ballad of Gay Tony. Look for our full review hitting the site very soon. Now we're going to move on over to the daily demo. Today we've got Dimension 2. Now, Lark, this is a sequel to Dimension the Ward.
It was, and Dimension the Ward was a great game. Renegade Kid really brought it to the DS, and that was a Ward game that I reviewed, and I know that you reviewed their next game, Moon.
Yeah, they do first-person shooters, but Dimension is more like atmospheric and creepy. Yeah?
It is, definitely. It's got kind of that crazy, like Silent Hill-y vibe to it a little bit, and so yeah, we're looking forward to seeing what Dimension 2's got, and we actually have a demo with that. So
let's roll it right now.
Hey everyone, Sophia here, and I'm joined by Aubrey from SouthPeak, who apparently just got out of jail.
Just got out of jail, man. It was awful.
Well, thanks for being here despite your busy schedule, but you've come to show us a game.
Yes.
Dominium 2.
Dominium 2 for DS, coming out in February. It is a survival horror game sequel to Dominion the Ward that came out in 2007.
All right, so let's jump into the game and see what you guys are showing off today. So you can start off from the beginning?
Sure. Yeah, we're going to start from the beginning here. Basically, the storyline of Dominion 2 is you are William Redmore. It's actually the same character from Dominion the Ward. You wake up in a hospital, and like Dominion the Ward, you don't know who you are, how you got here. So basically, everything that happened to you in the original title, you just totally forgot.
So, but you don't have to play the first title to start this one, right?
Right, yeah. You kind of regain your memory as you go through this game, and then you also encounter a lot of different situations that kind of flesh out, I guess, the whole world around you, or all the stuff that has happened to you even more in this sequel. So.
All right, and what are some of the changes, like from the first one? Like gameplay-wise, does it still play the same, or interface?
Gameplay-wise, it's still the same. A lot of the things that we did when we were first starting to develop the game with Renegade Kid, we sat down and we looked at all the reviews and we said, okay, what are the things that people would like to see changed? What are the things that frustrated the fans? Some of the things, like as you see on the user interface here, there's a map that's straight up on the user interface. You don't have to go looking for it. You don't have to press start.
You just picked up the postcard. What's that?
The postcards actually are things that you can find scattered throughout the game. They'll help you kind of figure out what you're doing there, figure out kind of like the context of the whole storyline.
Okay, so everything just changed.
Everything just changed. This is, as you go through the game, you kind of like swap between these two different realities. So there's sort of like a hell mode reality and then, normal prison. But the hell mode is more of like, it's sort of like a really twisted version of what is there in real life.
Okay, you're armed with a shank.
You are armed with a shank.
And what kind of weapons will we be seeing?
There's actually a really good mix of, melee and ranged weapons. You have your shank that you start out with.
Gross.
Yeah, that's pretty nasty. You do pick up pistols, sledgehammers, shotguns. My favorite is kind of like this makeshift flamethrower with an aerosol cannon and lighter.
Oh, nice.
Personal favorite.
And there's like dual wielding now. You can have.
Yeah. In Dominion the Ward, you couldn't have a flashlight and a single-handed weapon at the same time, whereas in this release, we've made it so that you can use, a shank and a flashlight.
And that glowy red thing, the save point.
Glowy red thing is a save point. That's another huge thing that we revamped in this game. So it used to be that there were no manual save points, or it would save, there could be like 30 minutes of gameplay in Dominion the Ward, and so I know that there were a lot of frustrations about that. So one of the things we did is implemented a lot of manual save points and auto-save so that you really shouldn't have to replay more than a couple minutes of gameplay if you die.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
And here we got puzzles also to get through doors. Moving jars of eyeballs.
We are moving jars of eyeballs, lining them up 1, 2, 3 on the right.
Excellent.
That's another feature that is actually something that was in Dominion the Ward that fans really liked. So we wanted to continue, kind of so that you don't feel like all you're doing is shooting and killing people. That you feel like there's something different to the game.
There's some puzzle elements.
Right. There's a puzzle element that you have to complete in order to advance.
And what's going on here? This cutscene.
So here you're finding out that
the guy that just
this is actually the guy that ripped the zombie off of and leaving his arm dangling earlier in the game. But basically you're finding out that, this doctor, who was actually a character in the first game, is holding you captive. And, it kind of shows you the doctor has two sides. He has a good side, who is actually really remorseful and feels bad about what's happening to you. And then there's the bad side, who's actively doing, the torture and sending horrible creatures after you.
Well, thank you so much for stopping by. Is there anything you want to add before we wrap up?
Actually, since it's Halloween week, this is a really special week for Dominion 2. We've decided to offer fans the ability to go out, if you pre-order this week between now and 11:59 on Halloween night, and you scan and send the receipt to Dominion 2, that's with 2 I's, at SouthPeakGames.com. We'll send you an 18 by 24 signed poster from Renegade Kid of the Dominion 2 box art.
All right, awesome. And when's the game coming out once again?
February.
All right, thank you so much for stopping by and showing us Dominion 2.
Thanks.
And now back to the show.
All right, thanks, Sophia. Now we're going to head over to another one of our previews editors, Sean McInnes, who headed over to Dogpatch Studios in San Francisco to take a look at Bioshock 2. Got some of the scoop on the story and what it's like to play as a big daddy. Let's roll that tape right now.
Hey everybody, Sean McInnes here in beautiful, not quite downtown San Francisco. We're at Dogpatch Studios where we're having a look at Bioshock 2. Now today we're getting a look at the single-player portion of the game as well as the multiplayer side. I got to check out an extensive hands-on session where I got to look at a new area called Ryan Amusements, which is basically an amusement park propaganda machine where they try to convince the little kids of Rapture that you never, ever, ever want to escape up onto the real world. Stay put in Rapture, kids. We got a pretty good interview going on with the creative director of the game, so let's check that out right now.
An artist strives to frame his ideals in an image, to challenge his audience and make his vision immortal. But the parasites say, no.
One of the many thematic goals of Bioshock 2 has to do with sort of Rapture from a child's eye view. And so I'll start with Ryan Amusements. Ryan Amusements is a theme park designed entirely to brainwash children. Rapture is a secret, and they can't really have kids that are born there wanting to see Ireland, So they have to scare those kids out of ever visiting the surface. And so you basically walk around through one of Andrew Ryan's terrifying propaganda messages, live in a kind of, House of Horrors kind of style.
So, but the parasites say no. What was yours is ours. We are the state. We are gone. We demand our share.
From there, the player learns about the adoption mechanic and finds, a little sister wandering around through Ryan Amusements, and that's where he kind of understands how he adopts the little sister and uses her to gather Adam to grow his character. Ryan Amusements is more of a crash course in Ryan, Rapture, and some of the things that Bioshock 1 established so that new players can jump in. But old players who know what happened to Ryan and know about the story of Bioshock 2 get additional dimensionality from their perspective on that level. Whereas Siren Alley and many of the levels after that are about showing you something radically different than Bioshock 1. That these are areas you never visited with a totally different aesthetic, some of which are being reclaimed by the sea. And then beyond that, Sophia Lamb has her own aesthetic. She has a very different idea of what utopia should look like. And so you get tastes of that as you progress through the story as well.
All right, so there's your look at Ryan Amusements. Now make sure to check out that full interview on the main site, GameSpot.com, as well as an interview about another area we got to check out, which is Siren Alley, and also Bioshock 2 multiplayer, which is brand new for this sequel. So there you go. That's our look at Bioshock 2. Back to you guys in the studio.
Every so often, our man Takeshi Hiraoka takes stock of what games have come out in Japan that are great to import to the States. This episode of Import Friendly features Sin and Punishment 2, along with some other cool titles you might want to import. Let's take a look at them now.
The biggest release this month on the DS, or any other platform for that matter, is Hikari no Yonsenshi, or Four Warriors of Light, Final Fantasy Gaiden, the next entry into the ever-popular Final Fantasy franchise. As the name suggests, this story is a Gaiden, or side story. You play as Brand, who on his 14th birthday is summoned by the king to rescue the princess who's been captured by the Witch of the North. Four Warriors of Light is available in Japan on October 29th. On the Wii, we have Batsu to Kami, Sora no Kokeisha, which is the sequel to the ever-popular Nintendo 64 game Batsu to Sumi, or Sin and Punishment, a rail shooter originally released only in Japan, but recently made its way stateside on the Wii Virtual Console. The popularity of the original game on Virtual Console has prompted Nintendo and Treasure to turn their eyes towards the West and have announced that this game is headed our way in the early part of next year. Japanese gamers will get it on October 29th. Finally, anime and manga fans will be delighted to find out that Full Metal Alchemist has finally made its way onto the PSP with this new game, Full Metal Alchemist Senaka o Takuseshimono. Experience the Renkin Jutsu action battle. Depending on what the surrounding environment is made of, your magic will differ in intensity and effect. The more you fight alongside the same characters, the more powerful you and your magic will become. Full Metal Alchemist for the PSP is available October 15th. And that was a quick look back at some of the import releases of the past month. Don't forget to watch the new import friendly take a quick trip through the Japanese Bayonetta demo. See you next time.
Now we got something really special for you right here, folks. A world exclusive trailer for Sonic and Sega All-Stars Racing. Check it out.
Sega. When darkness falls and thunder drums, something speedy this way comes. Take to the track with your favorite Sega All-Star. For the spookiest, creepiest, and spikiest thing on 4 wheels. Happy Halloween!
All right, folks, it's trivia time, and once again, we're giving away fighting fantasy books because these things were a huge hit. When we gave them away a few weeks ago, we got a whole nother batch in for all you guys clamoring to get your fighting fantasy on. So, you want a copy of The Warlock of Firetop Mountain? All you got to do is answer this question. What was the name of the author's first submission to Penguin Books that eventually became Fighting Fantasy, The Warlock of Firetop Mountain? You know the drill. Use the module on the side of the page to submit your answer or send us an email at onthespot@gamespot.com. Good luck. All right, folks, time for us to wrap it up. That's all the gaming goodness we got for you today, but be sure to tune in on Saturday for our Halloween extravaganza. Not only do we have the aforementioned zombie-related shenanigans, but we've got the quintessential zombie game, Lark, which is
Left 4 Dead 2.
Left 4 Dead 2. Chainsaws, frying pans, and assault rifles.
Zombie clowns.
Zombie clowns, all sorts of goodness.
Terrifying.
Terrifying and fun. Should be good stuff, folks. All right, so for everyone here on the crew and everyone here at GameSpot, I'm Chris Waters.
I'm Lark Anderson.
Have a great week, y'all.
Zombie clowns, man.
Coming up on Saturday's episode of Today on the Spot, our Halloween special features Left 4 Dead 2, and we get you updated on what's new this week on PlayStation Network. And be sure to check out Start Select with GameSpot UK's Guy Cocker as he travels to Florence, Italy with an in-depth look at Assassin's Creed 2.